you know what day it is today? Well, according to the Hindu calendar, it is the most auspicious day of the year to get married. Well, that means despite the lockdown, despite the restrictions, the fear of penalties and the scare of weddings being a spooper shredder, there is no stopping love and the lovebirds who want to seal the deal. As many as 4,000 weddings are expected to take place in the pink city, Jaipur alone today. Thousands, some saying even lakhs small events are planned out here in the national capital. Dilliwalas well know how to throw a big bash. But how are the couples coping up in the present pandemic scenario? How are the families feeling, the wedding planners as well? That's what we are going to find out and talk about on FII today. Welcome to the show. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Well, Indians know how to throw a big bang wedding, a big fat Indian wedding, band, baja, barat. I can't stop talking about the kind of words and phrases that have been used to describe an Indian wedding. But this time around, in midst of a pandemic, is that going to change? Is this what the weddings are going to look like? The ones like the pictures on your screen. Not just have the name of the bride and groom, but all the precautions that one has to take and maintain to ensure that you don't fall in trouble. And it's a serious one. It could actually lead to a super spreader. One of the reasons why the number of people gathering at the weddings has been brought down drastically. Not just in Delhi, but in Rajasthan, in Uttar Pradesh, in Gujarat as well. So, to understand all of that, it's time to bring out a fabulous guest that are going to be joining us on the program today. We've got Divij and Samriddhi Bhatia. Now, Divij and Samriddhi actually got married in midst of a pandemic with just about 10 or 15 people, I'm told. They got married on the 12th of May. Congratulations, both of you, and welcome to NDTV. Welcome to FII. We also have Tarika Mittal and Anmol Ratan Gupta. They got married on the 23rd of May. We are told in a very intimate setting as well. Congratulations to you lovebirds as well. I'm told it's quite a story over there. We'll come to that in just a bit. We'll also joined by Reti. She is a wedding planner. And she's the one, she told me before starting the program that her job these days is less of a wedding planner, more of a panic control person, because that's what weddings in the pandemic have become all about. We'll also be joined in some time by Amrita Tulsi and Shivani. They also run a wedding, they are wedding designers, and they also try and ensure that people have their dream wedding. But let me begin with the couples first, and let me go to Tarika. Tarika and Anmol, you were telling me a little while earlier that you've known each other for almost 10 years, been in and out of love at various occasions, but then you finally decided that it was time to get married. And how? In midst of a pandemic, and that too, this is May we are talking about, but not even 30 people were allowed, if I'm not wrong. Tell me, what compelled you to get married even in a circumstance like this?
That Anmol will tell you, because it was his decision, because the parents had taken out a date for November, so it was his decision to have the whole thing.
Am I sensing that you weren't very happy with that decision? Am I just sensing that with your tone right now?
We are very happy, yes.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Anmol, tell me, why did you decide to get married?
I couldn't wait, I think the lockdown was such a perfect time to get to know each other and adjust in the family. Everything was shut, no guests visiting, we don't have to go anywhere, we don't have to do any formality meetings with people. So it was great to just, have Tarika come home, live with all of us and adjust in the, have all of us adjust to her and she adjust to all of us. So it was great, just to have those few months of having to do nothing and just being with your partner and, getting married. That was excellent, I think.
But let me ask this to Tarika. After all, it's a girl's most sacred day, as they say. Did you miss, Tarika, not having your big family, not having all your friends throw you a big bash, pamper you on your big day?
So all my friends and my closest family who know me well, they know that I always wanted a small intimate wedding in my backyard. Everybody knows it. And that's exactly what turned out to be. My friends were there, my family was there, though my sister wasn't there, who was deeply missed. but she was there all throughout on Zoom, so it was just the perfect setting for everything. Both of us, in fact, wanted an intimate wedding. That's what we thought. Whenever it will be in November or whenever, we'll call the entire world on all other functions, but the wedding's going to be in my backyard with just our people, and that's exactly what
In fact,
it was.
I have pictures of your backyard and the pictures you sent us of your
Yes.
wedding. Let me ask my producers to throw that up on the screen for the people also to get a view of what it is like. So the sense I get from Tarika and Anmol is perhaps that this is the millennial dream that they had, and perhaps the pandemic gave them the perfect setting and perhaps, can I say, the perfect excuse to have a smaller wedding as
Exactly.
well. But was that the
100%.
case? Was that the case with Divij
Yes,
and
100%.
Samriddhi as well? Divij and Samriddhi, did you also enjoy having a smaller wedding, or did you miss having the big charm and the big bash?
So there's quite a story over here because our wedding was scheduled for 16th of April. And, the booking was done, the venues were selected, dresses were all done. And then the lockdown was announced in May, which kind of continued for a long time. Plus, she was in Faridabad, so we couldn't really cross the borders as such for the wedding. So we had to actually wait to get the permissions done from the DM. And then the family came in over here and we had a small wedding at my own place.
Right. And Samriddhi, were you okay with that?
I was definitely more than okay because coincidentally, like Tarika, even I had always dreamt of a very small, intimate wedding. I was planning big on honeymoon, which is still due considering everything. But then yes, the wedding happened. Both of us did not want a very lavish wedding. We were as it is originally planning on just one function. Wedding and reception was combined ideally, but then that could not happen. But then yes, the wedding was something that both of us enjoyed.
This is what I love about millennials these days. I love how they find peace and harmony in perhaps their own moment, even in these times. And this is, I think, for me, the story of 2020. While we are listening to statistics come out of people getting divorced because they have too much time to themselves and they have to confront some devils within, right? People planning, not knowing what to do, and relationships breaking down. People going on a path of losing their mind almost, of being restricted in their homes. But yet again, there is the story of love that's emerging out as well. Not to forget, in midst of all the precautions as well, because lots has been said about how these weddings actually can be a super spreader. You guys managed a small, intimate one, but the task ahead for Rethi is not an easy one. She's now having to have organized weddings on a day like this today. Like I said, Rethi, the most auspicious day of the year. Everybody wants to get married. They are scared as well. How are you managing all of that? How are you managing the couples? What are the trends emerging? What has been your learning in this process?
Hi, yeah, there has been a lot of panic around. There have been couples who've been waiting for marriage because of lockdown. They waited almost the whole year to have a gala celebration, hoping that by the year end things should settle down and maybe they can have a bigger gathering. And in the middle, gathering size increased to 100, 200 people. But this sudden volatility and then bringing it down to 50 people again has been a lot of chaos. Change of venue, change of budgets, change of vendors, guest list and everything. So yeah, there's a very thin line that we are managing between celebration and fun and, managing the budgets, the vendors, and of course, keeping the spread in control, making sure that everyone's health is taken care of. Of course, that's a very, very prime importance.
Tell me, what has been the reaction of people who've now have to be let out of the guest list because it's only down to 50 people?
To many in Delhi, if I say, is an eye opener. It's a joke though कि 50 लोग तो हमारे यहाँ नाराज ही हो जाते हैं शादियों में. But it's true, managing a wedding of 50 people, imagine 25 people from bride side, 25 people from groom side. It's very tough to even imagine. But yeah, it is.
So what are couples doing now that the number is only 50? Have they found out some Delhi wala jugaad? I was hearing, some people talk about, you don't have to name them, of course, on the program, but I was hearing this from friends who said that, they've now found out a jugaad of booking several places under different names just to accommodate more people.
Yeah, honestly, when this announcement came, a lot of parents and, the bride and groom said, we will do this. But when practically, thinking practically, the guest list, even the guests have started to think practical. They don't want to risk it. So first family turns up, and a lot of people who are on your guest list, however close they are, they eventually don't come, or they come and go like touch and go.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
So, So automatically the guest list is shrinking. Maybe 50 can be difficult. They are still limiting it to 60, 70 people. But this is how the situation is.
All right. Let me also bring in Amrita Tulsi and Shivani Dobal. They are the co-founders of Two of Us Wedding Designers. And are you guys at work? Are you at a site and already prepping up for a wedding coming up? Because I see a lot of, the movement of the camera, and it looks like you guys are on site. Tell us, how is wedding 2020 in midst of a pandemic with just 50 people looking like?
It is actually beautiful because, we can do whatever we want in terms of decor, things that could not happen,
All right, turns out they are on a site, and that's why the signal we're losing out on that. I'll try and fix that up. But let me go back to the couples there. Tarika, when you look at what's happening at the moment, it's good to hear from Reti that there are some people who are cautious at this point and are saying that we'll stay away from the weddings because it could lead to a massive super spreader event as well. From your friends, when you hear them, what is the sentiment now? Are you encouraging, after having gone through your own wedding in this fashion, is this sort of formula do you recommend for other couples as well who are looking at you right now and wondering, should we not? It's a once in a lifetime, hopefully, event.
So in all honesty, like you said, it's an auspicious date, and Mo's just attended a wedding in Ambala and come back. So he just showed his face there for like 10 minutes, attended the Gurchadi, and he's back. And we have a wedding to attend in the afternoon. And day after is his family wedding. It's his mama's daughter's wedding. So what we try to do is be present everywhere for like a maximum of half an hour, but away from the crowd. There's no crowd any which way. Yeah, with the mask on. So we are newlywed. Yesterday we were at a function and somebody was giving me shagan for seeing me for the first time. And she actually told me, pull down your mask so that I can even see you. So that's the kind of precaution you need to take if you want to be safe.
So your muh dikhai is happening with the mask off these days.
With the mask on. Yeah, I'm still getting shagans at people's functions. That okay, you just gotten married and we weren't there at the wedding.
Right.
So,
right.
It's quite a crazy scenario, but things are happening. Things should happen. We did ours. We didn't really care about who bothered, who didn't bother. It happened. We were happy, and that's what it was about.
But I think the weddings are now shifting completely online, right? That's the focus. Everybody says, we don't care if you get married here. Just ensure that there is a live broadcast happening so everybody can actually watch.
I must tell you that the live broadcast trend has also been started by Anmol. He was the first one to do it, and he did our setup on his own. We had a YouTube link, and after we did it, like thousands of people have asked me, does he do it professionally? Will he do it for me? So he keeps guiding people over the phone. He bought cameras, he bought the sound system, and he's very technologically sound, so to say. And he fixed the entire broadcast up. We had like, I think we had four cameras in the venue, and everything was on live broadcast.
And people all over the world saw the wedding,
I think we had over like, so even in the supermarket, it's a joke in our city that in a supermarket, two women banged into each other. One was walking backwards with her trolley, and both of them were watching a wedding video.
Okay, that's quite a story. Reti, is that what you're hearing from a lot of couples these days as well? This demand to ensure that at least on social media, their wedding looks like a blockbuster wedding.
So that's another way that you can have.
Just let Reti come in on that one. 1 second, Tarun.
Yeah. So actually, so this is something that we used to do a lot for NRI weddings anyways before. But yeah, this has really picked up now because a lot of people cannot travel. International travel is anyways not happening. Your nearest ones are not able to be there for the wedding. So yeah, this is the latest trend, and it has been a super hit.
It has been a super hit. I believe we have Amrita and Shivani back. Do we? Guys, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay, great. I was just trying to pick up from you what are the big trends that you're picking up from your bride and grooms for the 2020 weddings. Are they paranoid? Are they happy with the smaller setup? And what are the demands looking like? What are bridezillas of 2020
Actually,
telling you?
no, if you look at it, the brides are comparatively calmer because they have a lesser crowd. They are only with the people they really want to be at the wedding.
Right.
And I think bigger crowds are usually more of parents' things rather than the couples' things. So the couples are fine. The parents just are a little disheartened that a lot of the people they wanted to call are not able to make it. But all in all, the people whose weddings were already fixed for this year, like towards April, and we could not do them, they have all agreed to shift their dates to November, and they do not want to postpone it to the next year. But then the couples who are getting just engaged this year, they are fine waiting.
They seem to have accepted the pandemic and, they are much calmer now.
But I just want to understand what's driving couples at this point to get married. And let me take that question to Samriddhi and Divij over there. What drove you guys to get married despite everything? You could have waited, right? Like, what's been the trigger?
So, the term waited is very vague because you do not know when is this thing going to end. It might take another year, it might take 2 years for things to normalize. And, given when we got married and both of us are working from home, so the amount of time that we are able to spend with each other right now wouldn't have been ever possible. Because, the job takes up around 12 hours of the day, including the commute. We just left out with the weekends. And now when we are working from home, we have all the time. And I think it was a very wise decision what we took in terms of getting married in May.
Are
What
you
about
telling
you?
me then that the pandemic almost pushed you to get married? You wanted to be together in this time?
Yeah. So essentially, the things were already scheduled for April. If the lockdown wasn't there, we would have had that big fat wedding, which, everyone wants. But, even my suggestions to all my friends who are getting married right now, the idea is don't push the wedding off, considering, it's a good time to get married and you'll be able to spend time with each other. And probably when you want to have the function, when things normalize, you can have your one big function back, when things normalize.
But spend time with your partner. That's what I'm hearing from you couples over there. That's a great note to actually take a break on. And when we come back, we'll go back to all of you and try and understand what happens to the wedding favors, what happens to all the massive, elaborate wedding cards that used to be given out. How is Delhi and the Delhi Walas gearing up for weddings of 2020? We'll try and get some insights on that. That's coming up next. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We are discussing the not so big fat Indian weddings that are happening this time around in midst of a pandemic. Weddings are happening, lots of them. But what are designers and wedding planners doing to ensure that it does not turn out to be a super spreader? Let's take that forward with our guests. Let's go back to them. Amrita and Shivani, what do you have to say? What kind of precautions are you taking to ensure it does not turn out into a super spreader event?
So we are maintaining good social distancing in all the seating arrangements. We make sure everyone is wearing masks for as long as possible.
Preeti, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, hi. So we are taking all precautions, venue sanitization, all vendors are being instructed to wear masks all the time, especially the caterers. The way buffet was laid out earlier is very different from how it is being served these days in weddings.
For example?
So, for example, earlier the guests were allowed to serve themselves. Now the waiters are serving, so that the serving dishes, the serving spoons are not exchanging too many hands. Everyone, all the servers are wearing gloves. The number of pass arounds have reduced.
All right.
And
what about exchange of gifts? Because that's so central to the Indian wedding system. How is that happening?
There are return favors that people can take away from, like they are giving away from the wedding function. In a wedding, in fact, we've also done couriers, with a thank you note or a blessings for people who were not able to come or we will not able to invite. But yeah, the wedding box as such is definitely, we have not done any this year.
You haven't done any. Wow, that's like a big chunk of a wedding expenditure, isn't that?
Totally shifted to e-cards and return favors which were given on the day of the function.
All right. Samriddhi? you have been very quietly sitting and listening to all of us. I want to know, how are you feeling about the entire thing? You've had a wedding without a lot of people. You haven't had a honeymoon at all. You've come to this new house with a new family. I completely understand that sentiment. So, how is this going? How's the pandemic bride feeling like?
It is going extremely well because since we've also had a love marriage, I knew everyone before getting married. So the comfort level was definitely there. But then the time that I'm getting to spend with everyone and all of them are getting to spend their time with me, we're getting to know each other. Our families have also, my parents have come twice and all of us have got the time. So apparently we've got really good time together and I've got really happy. And like I said, it was more like a dream wedding that I had for me because I've always wanted a small intimate wedding and I got one. Yes, the honeymoon is due. I'm pretty sad about that. But it'll happen when it'll happen. But then yes, so we go out for coffee wearing the masks once a week, twice a week. There's a few shops out here. That's how we spend time. And then weekends, of course, terrace plans, terrace date nights. That is what happens.
Nice. Nice. Last thoughts there, Tarika, Anmol, what do you got to say to all the lovebirds out there wondering what to do next? Well, I have to make a confession on the program in front of all of you and so encouraged actually to hear this. I wish I had, I don't think anybody would say that. I wish I had gotten married during the pandemic. It would have been so much sort of warmer, cozier affair. And Reti is absolutely right that if I hear more and more couples, I see them wanting to only spend time with people who really mean so much in their lives. But it's the parents, it's their kids, it's their daughters and their sons' wedding as well. So it's the dream that gets a little lost on them. How did you convince parents and what were their sentiments on this?
It was difficult, I mean, it came down to my mom fighting a lot with me about getting it done in November so that everybody could attend. And it boiled down to me telling her that, listen, you are also invited just like all the other 25 guests. If you want to come, well and good. If you don't want to come, she and I are just going to go to the temple, get married, come back home. I know you will be pissed for about a week and after that you will be fine. So I'm not too worried. But I had my father's and my aunt and uncle's support on my side, so everybody was able to convince mom to let it happen, and now she's the happiest because having such a wonderful person like Tarika by her side over the last 6 months, was amazing.
Right. Well, that's good to hear. Not so much if I'm your mom and listening to this program, but I'll leave that to you. So last thoughts there, Reti, your advice to people who are going out today. I know Delhi is going to be all jam-packed. The roads are going to be all busy today because people are going to be traveling to various venues. But what is it that you can tell people, even as a wedding planner, even as an insider, to follow, to ensure that they don't end up making the most fabulous day of their lives to be remembered for all the wrong reasons?
Yeah, so I think this is the right time when we all have understood the importance of intimate weddings. Many of us did not even know that intimate wedding ho sakti hai. So
not in India.
Let's enjoy this to the fullest. We can still make the most of it. Have our near and dear ones with us, safe and sound, and take all precautions so that nobody's harmed.
All right, so we'll have to leave it there for the moment. Thank you all very, very much for joining us with your perspective and sharing your story with us. It's been a difficult year and this, I believe, love has to be celebrated. It cannot be postponed or cancelled no matter what happens, and that is a reason to smile on only and only if you're doing it correctly. If you also have a wedding to go to or lots of weddings to go to, please ensure you maintain your distance, wear your masks, and in short, like I said, don't let this turn out to be a moment where everybody is scared and panicked. This is a time to be enjoying love. Well, we leave it there for the moment. See you again tomorrow on FII for 11:30. Bye-bye.